All right, let's dive right in. Welcome to your definitive master plan for conquering the CLAT exam. If you're eyeing a top national law university, you already know you need the absolute best strategy to crack the CLAT exam. And, well, that's exactly what this explainer is going to give you today. We're going to break down the exact systems, timelines, and tactics that the top rankers actually use. 120. That number right there is the ultimate challenge of this exam. We're talking 120 questions to be answered in exactly 120 minutes. It's a brutal pace. It leaves you with literally 1 minute per question. This is really what makes the CLAT less of a traditional knowledge test and way more of a high-pressure, decision-making marathon. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. Sizing up the beast. 2. Building your foundation. 3. The 1-year prep timeline. 4. Hacking current affairs. 5. The mock analysis blueprint. And finally, 6. Avoiding fatal exam mistakes. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Sizing up the beast. Understanding the CLAT pattern. When we break down the weightage, legal reasoning and current affairs make up the absolute largest chunks of the exam, usually hovering right around 28 to 32 questions each. English and logical reasoning are slightly smaller at 22 to 26 questions, while quantitative techniques, well, that's the smallest slice, at just 10 to 14 questions. You absolutely have to allocate your study energy accordingly. And when you look at an actual CLAT 2025 exam page, you'll see proof that every single question is tied to a dense, time-consuming reading passage. The whole paper is based on reading blocks of 450 to 500 words. Honestly, you're going to be reading somewhere between 30 to 40 pages of text during those 2 hours. There is no way you can just memorize your way through this. Section 2. Building your foundation, reading speed, and essential books. So, to handle all that text, you need to reach a reading speed of about 250 to 300 words per minute. And you do that by switching from slow subvocalization to rapid chunk reading. Subvocalization? That's that habit where you silently pronounce every single word in your head. It is a massive time waster. Chunk reading, on the other hand, means training your eyes to read phrases of 3 or 4 words at a time. So instead of reading, law students must develop, you take in the phrase, law students must develop strong skills, in just 2 quick glances. It's a total game changer for reclaiming precious minutes on the clock. Now, to build up that knowledge base, these are the specific expert-recommended books you need in your armory. For English vocabulary, Norman Lewis's Word Power Made Easy is your foundation. For logical reasoning, M.K. Pandey's Analytical Reasoning is literally the gold standard. To grasp legal concepts without getting totally overwhelmed, go with A.P. Bardwaj's Legal Awareness. And for those 10th grade math basics, R.S. Agarwal's Quantitative Aptitude is perfect. Grab these and just ignore all the other noise out there. Section 3. The 1-year prep timeline, a 4-phase strategy. We can break down your year into 4 distinct phases, taking you from building daily habits all the way to a final exam mode marathon. Phase 1 is all about foundation, reading the Hindu editorial every day, building vocab, and learning basic legal principles. Phase 2, that's your deep dive into concepts, really focusing on accuracy in your reasoning. Phase 3 is where you shift gears. You need to finish the syllabus by month 8 and start rigorous sectional timing. And finally, Phase 4 is mastery. No new topics here. You're just revising 12 months of current affairs and taking mocks at exactly 2 p.m. to simulate real exam conditions. 40%. Now, this stat is absolutely crucial. Students who follow a disciplined 12-month prep plan actually have a 40% higher chance of cracking a top NLU than those relying on last-minute crash courses. 1 year really is the golden duration. It's short enough to keep you highly focused, but long enough to prevent total burnout. Section 4. Hacking current affairs, earning reliable marks. Listen, you can't just passively read the news. You need to use a 3-step conversion method to turn those daily articles into testable, high-value notes. Recent exams have proven that just knowing the news isn't enough anymore. You need the static background. So, step 1, extract the 1-line fact from a story. Step 2, identify the static concept it activates, like which specific constitutional article is tied to that piece of news. And step 3, formulate how an examiner might actually ask an application question about it. This forces you to think like the test maker, not just a reader. But how do you remember all this? You've got to implement a spaced repetition loop to permanently lock the information into your brain. Review the items you jotted down over the last 7 days. Then, set a 30-day loop to revise the past 4 weeks of notes. Finally, utilize a 90-day loop to review your consolidated monthly summaries. It's like a superpower. This system ensures that when exam day rolls around, you aren't second-guessing yourself for a single second. Section 5. The Mock Analysis Blueprint. Training like a pro. The crucial point here is all in the math. Because of the negative 0.25 marking, answering fewer questions with higher accuracy actually yields a significantly better net score. Seriously, if you panic and attempt 100 questions, but only hit 60% accuracy, your net score drops to a 50. But if you just slow down, attempt 85 questions, and maintain 80% accuracy, your net score jumps to 63. So more attempts do not equal a higher score if you're just blindly guessing. Accuracy is your absolute best weapon. To hit that high accuracy, you have to rigorously run every single mock test through a 5-step analysis framework. First, review your score and attempts. Second, break it down by section. Did legal reasoning take way too long? Third, classify your errors. Was it a conceptual error, a careless mistake, or did you just misread the passage? Fourth, do a time audit to see exactly where you lost momentum. And fifth, adjust your strategy for the next mock. And this brings us to the 24-hour rule. You absolutely must do this analysis within 24 hours of taking the test so you can accurately pinpoint your logical errors. Your internal reasoning process fades really fast. I mean, if you wait a week to check your answers, you won't remember why on earth you picked option C instead of D. Revisit the test the very next day, reattempt your wrong answers, and find out exactly where your logic went off track. Section 6. Avoiding fatal exam mistakes. Dodging hidden traps. Information overload and ignoring your weakest subjects are hands down the fastest ways to stall your score. You need to stick strictly to your foundational books and analyze every single mistake. Please do not fall into the trap of hoarding 5 different current affairs magazines. And do not avoid quantitative techniques just because you feel more comfortable practicing English. I get it, the math section can be super intimidating, but avoiding it is fatal to your rank. And whatever you do, never skip your mock analysis. The main difference between someone stuck at a score of 70 and someone who breaks into the 90s is simply how honestly they confront their own weaknesses. So you've got the 4-phase timeline, you know the chunk reading techniques, and you possess the mock analysis blueprint. The CLAT is actually highly predictable if you implement the best strategy to crack the exam. The roadmap is right in front of you. Take a hard look at your current prep, adjust your daily habits, and ask yourself this one final question. Are you just studying to take a test, or are you training to conquer it?